Student loan debt relief is coming for millions of Americans. I'm Skyler Henry at the White House detailing the Biden administration's plan and who's eligible in this effort to cancel thousands of dollars in debt for borrowers.
Plus, we hear from a Ukrainian citizen living in Joplin about this Ukrainian Independence Day and a look at the importance of a
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Relief is on the way for millions of Americans with federal student loans. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Down Quick. President Biden today pledged to wipe away thousands of dollars of college debt for many Americans, and the administration is also proposing big changes to the repayment programs. We're going to give you a chance to voice your opinion in a moment, but first, Skyler Henry is at the White House with a reaction and what this means for borrowers.
Another campaign promise fulfilled, with President Joe Biden announcing student debt relief for federal borrowers.
Here's what my administration is going to do to provide more breathing room for people so they have less burdened by student debt.
The president's plan forgives $20,000 of debt for Pell Grant recipients and $10,000 for other borrowers, and it's capped for borrowers who earn less than $125,000. Additionally, the Department of Education has proposed new rules that would cap income-driven repayment plans at 5% of monthly income and overhaul the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program.
For anybody with student loans, it's a big deal. This could totally wipe out the student loan burden for about a quarter of borrowers.
The Biden administration is also extending the moratorium on federal student loan repayments one last time, with payments set to resume after this year's midterm elections in January.
Moderate Democrats, progressive Democrats don't want to see tens of millions of Americans get student loan bills just before they're asking voters to go to the polls.
But top Republicans are slamming it as inflationary.
Just think about how unfair this is for all the Americans who are harmed by this, who are now on the hook for hundreds of billions of dollars of other people's loans.
In a scathing statement, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell dubbed the president's plan student loan socialism. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.
The government website providing information on the program was overloaded with people trying to log on today. The president says the Department of Education will release more guidance in the coming weeks for federal borrowers to apply for the student debt relief. Brings us to today's KOAM News Now interactive question. How do you feel about the student loan debt cancellation? Your options are you love it, you generally support it, you generally oppose it, or you hate it. You can give your answer right now. KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. Results are updated live. You can also leave additional comments on our Facebook page, and we're going to check back in on the numbers a little bit later in this newscast. Right now, though, let's check in with Doug Hetty for a first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be another great day for us today. We've had mostly sunny skies across the region. We still have mostly sunny skies. Temperatures, not bad. It's hot. It's August, but overall, it's turned out to be a pretty good day. Any showers, any thunderstorms, mainly across the southern parts of the plains, and that's where they're going to stay as we go through the next couple days. In fact, there's not a whole bunch going on across the region. Temperatures right around 90, 88 in Nevada, 87, Anderson, 88, Miami, 88 as well. In Pittsburgh, we have 93 in Neodesha. As we go through the overnight hours, we'll drop back through the 80s, 70s, 60s, overnight low 66 a little bit later on tonight. We do have some rain chances in the forecast. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you then. Ukrainians living in the 4 states are thinking about Ukraine today, the 31st anniversary of its independence from the Soviet Union. The war in Ukraine is entering its 7th month. Those we spoke to in Joplin say the war makes it a hard day to celebrate. One saying it's obvious that Ukrainians want to remain their own country.
Honestly, everybody think that maximum 1 week and Ukraine will surrender and it will be Russia there. But surprisingly, our people, Ukrainian people, was strong and protective, and world around can see how much we want our freedom, our independence.
Leah says she hopes that war in Ukraine ends as soon as possible. The PSU in Paraguay program has a new director. Angela Moots, who served as the university's study abroad coordinator, brings a lot of traveling experience to the program. The 15-year-old program has students from Paraguay come to finish their college degree in Pittsburgh. She encourages students on campus to take a trip abroad to learn about the different cultures. According to Moots, the experience traveling brings can help people later on in their lives.
No matter what you're going to be doing in the future, you're always going to be interacting with people who have other beliefs and opinions. So it's a really great skill to have.
Pittsburgh State University currently has 8 students from Paraguay on campus. They also have 13 students in Paraguay taking general education classes who will attend PSU later. Still ahead, immunizations aren't just for kids.
Staying up to date on routine vaccinations. I'm Astrid Martinez with what adults need to know to stay healthy.
And what a study says about the link between teen sleep habits and weight. Those stories are coming up in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, teenagers who sleep less than 8 hours a night are more likely to be overweight or obese compared to their peers who sleep 8 hours or more. That's according to Spanish researchers who also find people who sleep less have elevated blood pressure, abnormal glucose levels, and excess fat around the middle. Another study finds people who are sleep deprived are less likely to help others. California researchers say insufficient shut-eye is associated with a reduced activity in the part of the brain that regulates pro-social behavior, such as sharing. When we hear it's important to stay up to date on routine vaccinations, we usually think of children and teens, but during National Immunization Month, doctors are highlighting vaccination for people of all ages is critical. Astrid Martinez has more on what adults need to know.
There's the usual check of the blood pressure, heart and lungs at Phyllis Taubin's annual physical.
Breathe deep now, in and out.
But today she's also due for a dose of the pneumonia vaccine.
I think it's very important to have them. It's vital for your overall health.
The vaccine is recommended for adults age 65 and up. It protects against several types of pneumococcal bacteria.
Pneumococcal pneumonia is the #1 cause of bacterial pneumonia. The older you get, the riskier it is. It can spread to the bloodstream, and it can be a devastating disease, so we do want to prevent it.
Other immunizations for adults include Tdap to protect against tetanus, diphtheria and pertussis, HPV to prevent cervical and other cancers, hepatitis A and B, and herpes zoster to help prevent shingles.
And then we'll keep going.
Dr. Karen Behar is medical director of NYU Langone's Joan Tisch Center for Women's Health.
See your doctor once a year. Have a conversation about things that are routine. Vaccines, blood, mammograms, colonoscopy. You should bring it up to your doctor. What vaccines am I due for? And at different ages, you're due for different vaccines.
Phyllis received her shingles vaccine last year.
To ward off actually getting shingles, because it's, I know, very painful.
And she gets a flu shot every year. So that's the next vaccine on her list to stay safe and healthy this winter. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, New York.
Research shows the COVID-19 pandemic caused a significant decline in routine immunizations for adults, children, and adolescents, which is concerning because it could lead to more vaccine-preventable illnesses, hospitalizations, and deaths. And walking 10 minutes a day is associated with greater longevity in people age 85 and older. That's according to a South Korean study. Researchers tracked about 7,000 octogenarians and found those who walked daily or did more vigorous exercise lowered their risk of death by about 40%. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our pet vet on.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Dudek from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we're going to talk about different dog sizes.
Plus, we have some thunderstorm chances in the forecast. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a nice Wednesday for us today. We actually had mostly sunny skies, temperatures a little bit hotter than what we've seen over the past couple days. Not bad. Most of us right around 90, 91 degrees for an afternoon high. Looks pretty good. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, most of the Central Plains, not bad. It's August. It's supposed to be hot. It's not extremely hot, but most of us are sitting 90 into the lower 90s, and that's what we have around the 4-state area. 89 in Carthage, 87 in Anderson, 88 in Miami. We have Neodesha at 93, Yates Center at 92, so a little bit hotter once you get into our western counties. But we've been cooler the past couple weeks compared to what we saw in July and also the first 2 weeks of August. We've had several days below average, and the past 2 days have just been a click above where we should be for this time of the year, and the humidity has been low. Look at our dew points. We're sitting upper 50s to near 60 degrees, so the way it feels to your skin, we're kind of in that pleasant to not bad category, which we will definitely take. Outside, 7th and Range Line, pretty much clear skies, not a whole bunch going on, sitting at 90, easterly winds 5 to 10, humidity, of course, low at 34%. As we go through the evening hours, we'll drop back through the 80s, 71 by midnight, 67 by 6 a.m. Overnight low right around 66 degrees, which feels pretty good. Clear skies, nothing going on here. In fact, the entire Central Plains look pretty good. We do have the moisture down across parts of Mississippi, Alabama. This is the remnants of the tropical system that affected most of Texas over the weekend, so they are still dealing with showers and thunderstorms. But besides that, our jet stream's way up into Canada. Until it dips a little bit farther south, we're not going to get any big storm systems across the region, so it's going to stay pretty quiet across the area. Tonight we drop back mid 60s, quick warm up, 60s, 70s, upper 80s by noon. I think most of us will top out lower 90s for highs, so maybe a notch warmer than what we're seeing today. 66 to start, 88 by noon. High temp right around 94. Southerly winds, southeasterly at least, at 5 to 10. But Thursday looks great. Tomorrow night, we drop back upper 60s to near 70, so very similar to what we're going to see tonight. On Friday, we warm up into the mid-90s. You can see a few thunderstorms trying to pop up to our north. I'm going to keep our forecast dry, but we are going to get at least chances for showers and thunderstorms in the forecast by the time we head into the weekend. I think at least slight chances moving in by Saturday and Sunday, but I mean, it's something. At least we're going to get some chances in the forecast. 94 tomorrow, 95 on Friday. We hold into the 90s all the way until next Tuesday. A little bit cooler by Wednesday, and just some hit and miss scattered thunderstorms over the weekend into early next week, but fairly consistent.
Yeah, well, consistently warm as we would expect this time of year.
It's August. It's a boring season for weather.
I guess so. Yeah. Thanks, Doc. Coming up, how an aluminum shortage is impacting the brewing business. First, to recognize a local military veteran, Silas Weeks served in the U.S. Army. Was stationed in Ontario, Canada. His hometown is Ottawa, Kansas, and we are proud to salute Silas Weeks, a 4-state hero. Topping today's Consumer Watch, Whole Foods Market was slapped with a lawsuit over its "No Antibiotics Ever" marketing slogan for its beef. 3 consumers and an animal welfare group sued the supermarket chain in California, alleging recent independent laboratory testing found that Whole Foods beef contained antibiotic and other pharmaceutical residue. Whole Foods and parent company Amazon have not immediately responded to requests for a comment. Tesla shares will be a lot more affordable. The electric vehicle maker's 3-for-1 stock split took effect today. Splits don't make companies more valuable, only more accessible to the average investor. Google parent Alphabet and Amazon were among other big companies that have split their stocks this year. Apple is helping do-it-yourselfers fix computer issues. The computer giant's self-service repair is available beginning today for MacBook Air and MacBook Pro notebooks. A support website has been set up for customers to get repair manuals, genuine Apple parts, and tools from the Apple self-service repair store. Apple says the self-service program is an attempt to expand access to repairs. Earlier this year, Apple launched a similar repair store for the iPhone. Supply chain issues have hurt companies all across the economy. Max Darrow explains.
At S27 Ales in San Jose, California, the founders take a lot of pride in their craft.
This is probably one of our, if not our best seller.
But Lucas Szymanowski says one of the more complex parts of the craft these days is getting their hands on aluminum cans.
Cans have been the biggest problem for us.
Brewers across the country are dealing with a can shortage.
At the beginning of the pandemic, the biggest challenge was simply demand.
Bart Watson from the Brewers Association says when bars and restaurants had to shut down in the spring of 2020, people started drinking more at home.
Had greater demand for aluminum cans, and that extended to other beverage products like soda, and so there simply weren't enough cans to go around.
That's been followed by ongoing supply chain issues, and the need for cans continues. According to the Aluminum Association, domestic demand for aluminum was up more than 5% in the first quarter of the year. Before this aluminum can shortage, they used to be able to order big pallets of cans like this one behind me whenever they needed them. Now they have to wait for their supplier to alert them that cans are available, and they're paying more per pallet as well.
When we order aluminum cans, $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 that has to be spent because the cans are available in that moment.
Experts say supplies are slowly getting better.
Prices are going to remain high, but availability hopefully will improve. We're starting to see, again, more capacity coming online, which will help.
In the meantime, brewers are helping each other.
In the community, I mean, it became very common, everybody to message everybody else, hey, I have a need. I need a half pallet, 1 pound of cans. Do you have any incoming? Can I borrow those?
Szymanowski says the community will continue to work together to weather the challenges of the can shortage. Max Darrow, CBS News, San Jose, California.
Our pet vet on call next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, answer to who exactly is eligible for that student loan debt relief. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to talk with a couple of Joplin residents from Ukraine about that country's Independence Day, plus a proposed tax levy on the Joplin Public Library, and remembering Chiefs great Len Dawson. Stay with us, CBS Evening News, and then KOAM News at 6. Let's check back in with our KOAM interactive question. We've been asking you, how do you feel about the student loan debt cancellation? So far, 36% love it, 59% hate it, and a handful are somewhere in the middle. You can still participate at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. Like people, dogs come in all shapes and sizes, and that doesn't mean every size is ideal. Today's question for our pet vet on call: my 8-month-old boxer seems to be on the smaller side than my last boxer. Is there some kind of food I can give her to make sure she grows properly and still remains healthy?
Well, at 8 months old, she's pretty well full grown except for filling out a little bit. So worrying about proper puppy nutrition is a little too late now. Good nutrition is still good and important, but it's a little too late to worry about that now. Now, having said that, I'm sure you fed her well, and the size of the dog, the difference in the size of a dog within the same breed is very seldom due to nutrition. It's actually due to familial genes, just like people. Some are tall and some of us are short, so there's probably not much you're going to do about changing that.
We invite questions from anyone. If you have a question, you just send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or brings us a fun fact every Wednesday right here on KOAM News at 5. By the way, you can also find answers to previous questions on our website. Now let's check out our picks of the litter for the week. From the Joplin Humane Society, we've chosen, appropriately enough, this young male boxer mix. The society says he's loose and wiggly, comes when called, and loves to snuggle. His name is Salt. And from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society, we have this male kitten. They say he's affectionate, loves to play and explore. His name is Rocket. It's kind of a rough similarity between these two as far as their coloration. If you're looking for a pet, why not check out your local Humane Society? Lots of great ones available. There always are. It's going to be hot for the foreseeable future.
It is. It's August. It's supposed to be hot. 94 tomorrow, 95 on Friday. At least the humidity is in check. And then we kind of hold into the 90s all the way through the middle of next week. And we do have some scattered thunderstorms in the forecast over the weekend into early next week. Just kind of hit and miss.
Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6.